they tested it out and it didn't work.
No,
That's
you know what does
happened.
work? Rabbit Troop sucks.
Oh, Rabbit Troop does work.
Rabbit Troop works.
Yes. Welcome back to Rabbit Troop Works. Working like a bunch of rabbits. It sounds like we're just procreating everyone.
Listeners, we're all just fucking in here.
Well, welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. We're a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films. And I'm Paul, and I'm going to go in a weird order. Next to me is Collin.
Hey.
Boom.
Yeah.
Back is Mike.
Oh shit.
I told you weird order.
Oh, man.
Got him.
and Lamar.
Hey.
Jeremy was going to be here, but he was too much in the sun.
The cicadas got him.
Kids got him.
And the cicadas got him. We didn't want to say anything. We don't want to start a public warning, but the cicadas got Jeremy, and I don't know what to say about that.
Oh, well. He belongs to the cicadas now.
He does. He's cicada people. Well, today we're going to be looking at Hot Rod. Hey, I think this is a great way to open up the summer. We've got sweet pool jumps and, I don't know, just sweet-ass stunts. Hot Rod 2007. Self-proclaimed stuntman Rod Kimble is preparing for the jump of his life to clear 15 buses to raise money for his abusive stepfather Frank's life-saving heart operation. You've got pretty much all of Lonely Planet here. The director is one of them. You got the other stars here. So if you're a fan of SNL, Lonely Planet, various other things, you're going to probably like this. This is my opening question to Collin. Do you like Andy Samberg? And I know this sounds like a really mean question, but Andy Samberg seems, as I noted on our side talk, he seems like a polarizing actor, that he's more the Jim Carrey early stages, that people feel he's very extreme. I would argue, one, I love this film. I know Mike loves this film. There's going to be no surprises on Mike or I's end on this. But I also am a big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Mike introduced me to that. I was aware of the show, but Mike was, watching through the seasons. And I was just nervous that it would be just this in-your-face Andy Samberg kind of extreme humor. And I never found that in the show. I thought that show was well-written. And actually, I just think Andy Samberg is kind of, in ways, an often overlooked actor. Because there are moments in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I know I'm going off tangent, but, same actor. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there are moments that are just very serious and very well done. So, I do think this guy is an expansive actor. This movie is crazy silly.
Yeah.
He does not explore most of that here.
Yeah.
I kind of think when this came out, one of the reasons I haven't seen it is for those reasons. It's just kind of very silly, and it just didn't really seem like it was going to be that good. But definitely after watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is something I really, really enjoy, and then a lot of the Lonely Island skits on SNL, Lazy Sunday,
Laser Cats.
Yeah, definitely kind of.
I don't know if that was Lonely Island. I know, but that's with Bill Hader.
Yeah, nice. But there's definitely enough to get me in to consider it, even though it was one of those ones that I wasn't sure I'd be into.
Yeah, I'm glad you're already feeling it. This movie's short and sweet. Clocked in hour 28 minutes. I know Lamar have seen this with me and Mike in the past before. You've got a lot of fun people, as I said, pretty much everyone from Lonely Planet's here.
Hold on, what's Lonely Planet?
Oh, wait.
Oh, Lonely Island?
Lonely Island,
okay,
sorry.
Cool.
I think Lonely Planet is the book company, so if I keep confusing it, it's that's the travel book company.
Okay, cool. I just wasn't sure if I was missing out on
No, sorry. Lonely Island. Sorry if I keep saying Lonely Island. It's been a sweet day, everybody. But yeah, sorry, Lonely Island. Danny McBride's here. Isla Fisher, Sissy Spacek, Ian McShane, Will Arnett, Chris Parnell, Chester Tam as Richardson. You get all of your favorites here. So basically, you've got this crazy stuntman, and I think this leads kind of well to the summer. You got some opening pool scenes. Oh, almost. We'll get there kind of quickly. But a lot of pool scenes. Seems very recreational. Seems like a lot of people are having lackadaisy days. I don't know. But yeah, the real opening sequence is a stunt that goes wrong apparently in real life. Does anyone want to describe this stunt? Who wants to see a big-ass stunt?
We all want to see a big-ass stunt. The first stunt of the movie is, it's worth pointing out that he's doing these stunts on a moped, not a motorcycle.
That's very true.
That's correct.
And he's gonna jump him. I think it's is it a mail truck or an ice cream truck?
It's some kind of small truck.
remember.
I'm also going to ask a very serious question.
Yeah.
How fast do you think this moped could go? Like, I don't mean really downhill. Maybe a little downhill. I don't mean a steep downhill.
Like if it's straight, there's no wind.
Yeah,
you're
like,
full out.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because that's kind of the opening scene. He's like going up and over a ramp.
I think that moped could probably hit maybe 30 miles an
I
hour.
was thinking that too.
Okay.
He went to dinner on it, so I was thinking 35,
Yeah.
40 maybe
Okay.
at most.
In the distance that he has to run up to the ramp of this truck, he's maybe going at like a brisk running pace.
Sure.
He hits the ramp. The ramps are built by Rico, Danny McBride. He builds the ramps. Clears the first ramp, clears most of the mail truck, and then just like scissors himself on the following ramp. And I guess the actual stunt person did break their leg.
Yeah, I think it was I go through multiple forms of trivia and different pages. I think this one was, I always say, take it with a grain of salt. This IMDb one was on the opening sequence, that stuntman broke his leg or arm, like just immediately.
He's lucky that's it, because that looked pretty brutal.
It looks bad.
They showed a replay of it later in the movie. I don't know if they redid it or they showed the exact same
I
replay.
can't imagine they redid it.
But on the second replay, it looks like he just dead falls and his back hits the top of the ramp, and it
Yeah.
looks like he just
It looks very
snaps in
uncomfortable.
half.
And on a side note, I'm glad I didn't go insane. I had to go on an Amazon search. Yes, Lonely Planet is the travel books.
wow.
Okay.
So I'm looking at Lonely Planet Spain 2024, Iceland, London, Portugal. I was like, whoo. I was like, where the hell did that come from? Yes, that is a travel series of books. Woo, thank God.
We'll cover those in a subsequent episode.
Those are just a different podcast. Is that
Yeah.
where we get on Patreon?
We narrate a Spain travel guide.
Hola. We're going to tell you about Hot Rod in Spain.
Ibiza.
Our travels here to Madrid have been wonderful, but let's point out Hot Rod.
There weren't enough buses to jump in Madrid.
Nice. What kind of fight would they get in there? There's no more grilled cheeses.
It's paella.
Nice. That's
you
the
go.
prison rules. Prison
Oh,
paella. You haven't lived until you've had prison
There
paella.
you go. Who wins in that fight?
No one.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. The bathroom.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're
He misses that jump.
Yeah, he misses the
Mike, he's not going to get up from that.
no, but he does
There
get up
we
from
go.
that.
Well, the stuntman doesn't.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
Behind the scenes, he is not getting up from
Oh,
that.
you know.
The soul of the eagle didn't serve him very well there. Every time he does a stunt, he summons the soul of a spirit animal.
Souls,
The
totems,
totem, yeah.
Animal
It was an eagle
kingdom.
this time. Didn't help.
Yeah, now we're basically at one of the central locations. It's basically like a DQ ripoff. I never caught the name of the place. Did anyone?
No.
It's basically like, how you would imagine like a very old DQ, serving ice cream, burgers, fries, like various other things. Couple picnic benches, people hanging out. So, of course, to prove Rod's manlyhood. And a side note, please note, this is a total SNL movie. This is when, these characters or these actors are on SNL. Michael Lauren is a producer. Will Ferrell is a producer of this movie. So that's kind of the background. So I say that because to prove his manlyhood, Rod's doing a jelly bean taste contest.
Oh,
where-
he can guess all the jelly.
yeah, he's blindfolded, and Rico and his brother Kevin are feeding him jelly beans, and he's guessing every GD one of them.
Was he wearing the mustache? He wears a fake mustache when he does stunts.
Can't remember if he was doing it at this point in time, but yeah, he will be wearing a fake mustache. And those rides are jelly bean free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's also telling everybody tomorrow, big stunt, he's jumping the pool tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to jump the pool.
Yeah. That's what Voltron tells the lady at the food counter anyway.
Yeah, so I can't remember her name. I have it written down. I think it's Kathy. It's Kathy, yeah. Kathy, who is the young woman working at said DQ, she is calling out a name like Voltron, your order's up. And then Bill Hader, who plays Dave, goes up like, yeah, And she's like, is that your real name? He's like, yeah. It's like, is it really? Yeah, maybe I'll go by this name. He's like, cool as hell. And it would be cool as hell just to go as Voltron. I approve.
It's a sick name.
Right there, you got a personality into what Dave is all about.
Doing Dave things.
Doing badass stuff.
Yeah. We also learn Ian McShane is the stepfather, and he just beats Rod ruthlessly because he thinks less of him. Rod is not a man in his eyes.
Taught him an important lesson when he woke him up. You should never wake up someone who's been in a chemical fire.
That's always good advice. Does Frank try to kick his ass because Frank wants to kick his ass, or is he just attacking Frank constantly to prove his manliness?
It's totally like a Pink Panther Butler sort of situation.
It's a Kato.
Yeah,
He's
it's Kato. Yeah.
That's
Not
fair.
now, Kato.
This could have all tied back into Neil Gaiman's, American Gods. This is the Mr. Wednesday that you want to see, doing Mr. Wednesday mysterious stuff. Sometimes just beating your stepson ruthlessly.
Was Ian McShane in American Gods?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's one of the leads.
He was Monday.
I love Ian McShane.
Yeah, he was super good in this.
Really?
He was
Yeah,
for
he
sure
was
the best
great in
character.
this.
Oh, in this movie? Yeah, no. Definitely.
Absolutely. As he's going through his, I don't know, he's got some PTSD army stuff going on.
Yeah.
The way he's beating the shit out of his little nephew here.
Well, he was in a chemical fire.
That's true.
Let's talk about that chemical fire.
I don't think he wants to talk
It's not
about
elaborated.
It's a long-ass wrestling scene.
Yeah, it is long. And Hot Rod loses.
He was not prepared.
No.
Despite his armor.
Yeah, he is wearing body armor. It doesn't help.
I like when they're at the pool. That basically everyone has a task to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really see his crew. I'm gonna put that in quotes. Shine.
Mm-hmm.
So you get Rico, who's building ramps,
Mm-hmm.
and Dave is the mechanic, but really is just on a megaphone telling all the kids to get the hell out of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
They do this.
They do. And the brother, Jorma Taccone, is that how you say his name?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
No one knows.
Just call him Jorma.
He doesn't show up.
What? Yeah, he does.
Not to this pool jump.
Does he not?
Maybe he does.
He's there.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's there.
Everyone's there.
This pool jump.
And Isla Fisher's there.
Yes.
We met her the previous night after he got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
He was taking the
Got his
trash
ass
out.
kicked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we meet Isla Fisher, who plays Denise, and she's taking out the trash. It's like a very Spider-Man moment, gone terribly wrong. And Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the next door neighbor is MJ, and he's always flirting with her, and that kind of works. And you see she's got her own situation at home and various other things. It kind of plays off at first the same, like, oh, it's my neighbor, but I don't know what to say. And like scene by scene, it's like I'm taking out the trash, but he says just the worst things.
You look pretty.
Yeah, that's what he
What?
meant to say, but what came out is, you look shitty!
Then he ran away.
That's pretty funny.
The way she looked back though, she wasn't surprised
No,
or offended at all. She
she
totally
knows
knew
his
that
deal.
he's kind of a goober.
And that gave you a little insight into, then she just genuinely likes him. He's
Yeah.
goofy, and she's kind of just interested.
So does she live there, or is she like home from school or something? I couldn't.
It's got to be something like that.
There is literally no story. That's
No, there's not. But like,
He seemed
like that.
surprised to see her. It made it seem
Yeah.
like she was gone for a while.
it did. That's how it read to me. So okay, but he likes her. Anyway,
He does.
Back to the pool.
Yeah, jump cut to the pool. And I like these jump cuts, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not too
movie's-
jarring enough. This movie warrants all this.
It's a well crafted.
I also forgot one more thing. Before the pool,
Okay.
there is a Rod breakdown scene. He thinks of his dad and he's crying in his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin walks in. He's like, get out! We also see like a nice, kind of a panoramic view of Rod's room. A lot of toys from when he was literally 4 years old. Weird posters, a lot of stunt posters.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at a picture of him and his dad. His dad's with Evil Knievel.
Mm-hmm.
And we randomly see a poster of Yo-Yo Ma playing for Goodnight Moon.
Yeah.
Just seems...
It's a classic album.
Now, then, boom, we're at the pool.
Yeah. Paging Yo-Yo Ma and Ghostface Killer. He is at the pool. All the kids are out of the pool. Whatever Danny McBride's character's name. Rico gets them all out of the pool. Time for the jump.
Yeah. It's a nice crowd for this jump.
Totem spirit of the fox this time.
Yes.
Calls upon the spirit of the fox.
Yeah, frolicking in the snow.
Yeah. Please don't make me look like an idiot in front of Denise. And then
And what did that fox do?
that fox got the fuck out of there.
And made him look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
in front of Denise.
and no, Kevin is not there. Kevin is at home because we're gonna find out in a second. Because
That's right.
he's wondering. He's like, why is Kevin not here? And Rico makes a spectacle of it. He's like, that's really messed up that your own brother wouldn't show up for this. Like, looks at him dead in the eyes and then awkwardly walks off. He says
was
something along
awkward.
those lines. But you're like, what? But yes, it is only Dave and Rico.
Yeah.
So revving up the hill, he goes up there. Mm-hmm. Vroom, vroom.
This goes only slightly better than the mail truck one in that he landed in water and it didn't look like a crippling crash.
Would you say Disco Sue likes the water?
I would now, yes.
I think this jump went worse than the first one. He only made like 10% of this jump.
Yeah, he didn't-
Whereas
he didn't get
actually
very
made
far.
that. He actually jumped that truck, just didn't hit the ramp right.
That's true. I guess from like a physical well-being perspective, this one went smoother.
It was comically right into the pool.
It was, just right. Into
So if we had some, like extras that we could watch that don't really exist, so fantasy extras, this is what I'd like to see. The math done between this crew. How fast you need to go, how tall does the ramp need to be. I would really like to see people getting out a compass and calculators.
I'll bet that didn't.
Oh, none of that happened ever.
Their math is like a little sketch of a stick figure going over a triangle.
That's
with
exactly
arrows
how I
pointing.
pictured how Danny McBride's character Rico would write it down.
Or they got like the old school 70s Evel Knievel like wind up racer. And they're just like, if that can make it over these toys, then, anything can make
They
it
did
over.
a Doc Brown model.
Yeah,
And he's like, well,
Doc Brown.
maybe he can jump.
Doc Brown made the most beautiful models, and the humble man himself is like, I'm so sorry that it was not up to scale.
It was so to scale, so accurate.
Right, like oh my god. I often think of the Doc Brown scene where he shows that, and then that car just goes into that bucket of rags. And
I know what you're thinking about,
yeah, it
Paul.
just goes on fire. The look on his
The look
face.
on his face.
And then you got to think like, man, you just got a bucket of like oily rags in the corner. Like this was going to happen sooner or later.
Where do you keep your oily rags?
They do say Doc Brown burned down the mansion for money.
Yeah.
Is that how he did it? I didn't know about the oily rags in the corner. I've just been collecting them all these years.
It's a long insurance scam.
Well, Rod, as noted, fails big time and goes home. And he is soaking wet. And I like that he's sulking up the stairs. Kevin, you weren't here. Totally made the jump. It was awesome. But then realizes everyone is downstairs. Frank is on a couch. It turns out Frank needs a heart transplant. He's had a bad heart for over 20 years. Rod is just kind of taken aback for realsies in this film. He's like, oh my God, like how long have you known? His mom.
21 years.
Yeah, 21 years. Like, oh my God, And, he's just the stepfather. He's Kevin's real father. And he's like, well, what's Kevin going to do about this? You're like, oh, Kevin knows. He's known the whole time. We just figured you couldn't handle it.
And they pan over and Kevin's hugging Frank.
Like, quaddle it up.
Yeah.
Like, nugget it up. Like, right. Yeah. Like, and if you didn't see, he's Frank goes, I want you to have my watch. And gives it to Kevin. And then Lamar, as Lamar lost his watch, Rod just full on run pushes Kevin right down and out of the way.
That set him off something fierce.
I think I'm going to really be like genderist here, and I'm going to be like, that is the thing you would see like two 4-year-old boys specifically do to one another that are brothers. Just like it's the push down, so you're going to fall. So it's a diagonal push. You're going to go face first and forward and away. And that's where Kevin goes. He goes flying across the room. And then Rod highlights one of the key themes of the film, that he needs to beat the shit out of Frank. And he's got to get a better heart, because he's never going to prove to himself or to Frank that he's the man that he knows he is until he beats the shit out of Frank. What a film.
Yeah.
What a theme.
So many layers.
This is what needs to be taught at the high school level. These are the themes
Yeah.
you need to know about.
Yeah.
Romeo, Juliet, come on.
Patriarchal combat.
Right. You need to know how to take down Frank. He's been in a chemical fire, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Don't sneak up on
I
him.
know. All his commotion's really riled up Rod, and he's really upset. So he goes to some place. He goes
Yeah,
to
he
his
goes to the
quiet
woods.
place.
He goes to a wooded glen to punch dance out his rage.
I don't know where you guys go to let out your rage.
No, that's where I go.
That makes sense.
Yes, and Mike is correct on the verbiage. He'll later quote, he galloped up to a
That's
wooded
right.
glen to punch dance out his rage.
And he does do for a moment. This scene, the first time I saw this movie, I was like cry laughing the entirety of the scene. And honestly, every subsequent watch, it's still like I still can't keep it together. This scene fucking takes me out every time. The falling down the hill
Yeah,
is amazing.
So first you see like the wooded glen, which is majestic forest and
Yeah.
green and lush.
He's
It's like
drinking a beer, he's
you're-
smoking a cigarette.
You're living the first 5 minutes of Twilight. Yeah, I
Yeah.
went there.
He's got a pommel horse.
Yeah. He's Jim Cotta and everything. He's dancing. He's flowing. He's screaming. He's taking drinks. He's spitting it out into the sky. He's spitting it into his face. He's swinging around, and all of a sudden you're, oh shit.
And it's like when the Family Guy
Yeah.
hits his shin or whatever. It's like it just goes on for too long.
I think it's like worse and worse too. Like he starts
Well, wait,
flying.
yeah, he goes flying into the sky and down basically a mountain. We should
Right.
note that.
There's a couple times and you're like, okay, that's kind of it. But then like it gets worse and he hits a tree and then he's like down a rocky.
There is a moment I swear to God he is shot out of a cannon. You just see a body flying across the sky.
I should have timed this scene. It probably went on a minute.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I now know why you were laughing so hard. I can't remember the first time I saw it was so long ago.
God,
but
I
I was
love it
laughing
so
just
much.
as hard tonight. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, and he basically gets to the bottom of this huge mountain after tumbling, rolling, swirling, flying, ricocheting, back-breaking himself into trees, somersaulting, etc. Being cannon launched, etc. And at the very end, he sees a sign that says, one big jump. You got to take one big jump. And he takes this to heart, that he comes up with a plan. He's got to take one big jump. He's somehow going to save Frank. He's going to assemble the crew. Damn it, I love movies when they assemble the crew. And so he's going to assemble the crew. And he tells everybody, as noted, that he galloped up to this wooden glen. He came up with this idea. The plan is this. He wants to jump 15 buses. But how many did Evel Knievel jump, would anyone say in this room?
Only 14, I believe.
That's correct. So one more than Evel Knievel. And they want to raise $5,000. With the $5,000, they're going to use that to build a huge ramp where he jumps those buses. So they basically have this plan where they're going to do some, I don't know, random stunt work to get $5,000 to build something bigger, to gain more money to get $50,000.
Right. So it's a 3-stage plan. Stage 1 is physical fitness.
Yeah.
He's got to he's got to practice some stuff. Stage 2, I believe Operation Fiscal Jackhammer is doing like small scale stunts to get money for the supplies, then the big stunt.
I would really like you, Mike, tonight when your significant other is sleeping, maybe 2, 3 in the morning, just whisper, "Are you ready for the physical jackhammer?" That's the love language I think everyone could respect and speaks. That's when the rapid troop sucks.
I dress up like Gordon Gekko.
He just gives you $20. Tells you to go sleep.
Yeah, so it's time for Rod to really crank up his stuntery and do some big-ass stunts. Well, not really.
Well, Denise has now joined the crew.
Yeah. I like Denise joining the crew. So
Yeah.
he basically is pretending to be a mechanic and bang the shit out of just random metal in his garage.
She's like playing with her dog, and he's like shining light in her eyes with like a mirror to get her to come over.
He's also wearing a Hulkamania tank top. So Lamar and I talked. So when I was a kid, like literally a toy, I'm gonna put that in quotes, that was being advertised is you could get a Hulk Hogan costume, and it was like a 2-piece thing. One was the headband, and the second thing was a tank top that you were supposed to rip off your body. I think it might have been Velcro attached where like you rip it off.
Oh, wow.
And then like you put it back on. But I could be wrong with that. Is that what he was wearing?
That's the original Hulkamania shirt that he tore off. Not that Velcro thing. That sounds terrible.
It was all for kids. Yeah,
but yeah, that Hulkamania shirt. That was that's
amazing.
number one selling shirt for a long time.
Hell yeah.
I want to bring up a point here. The scene right before this, like Bill Hader's character, he's wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt right before it too. I think these guys are wrestling fans. I've seen Andy Samberg at some wrestling shows, so that's pretty cool. Nice shout out to the wrestling atmosphere.
I'll bet
they're
they are.
like wearing shirts.
Talking about shirts, Bill Hader in a scene coming up is wearing this amazing wolf t-shirt.
Oh, I noticed that too.
There was a moment I almost bought that, and I just thought I can never wear this for any reason, but I could.
Oh yeah,
But I could.
that shirt's amazing. I love.
I
that.
just feel if you wear that shirt, you are just the craziest person in the room. Like, where would you be? I mean,
anywhere. You go anywhere with that shirt.
Right. That's right.
You get in any place and you do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Sir, I can't let you. Oh, never mind.
yeah.
Code red.
Free entry to anything you want in this life.
Yeah, that's
You wear that shirt and people know that you're not afraid of anything.
No, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, the back end to get Denise in is she has to go through a quick initiation where Rod makes her close her eyes and he dumps some soda on her foot. She's kind of upset about this, but apparently she's in.
She knew what she was in for.
So through some of the training, we get some holding the breath in a pool.
One of my favorite lines in the movie, it's a quick throwaway line and it's so fucking stupid, when they're filling up the pool. I think
It's
Bill,
Rico and Dave talking.
it's Rico and Dave talking. And I think it's Dave that says pools are perfect for holding water.
I think he said this pool is
Yeah.
for holding water.
And then just pans away.
And it's under his breath. I don't even think
Yeah.
it's supposed to be caught on mic.
It was just like his own thought.
We also get a nice introduction to Bill Hader's dead-eyed sister, who clearly is soulless. She comes out highlighting that she's going to make some kind of like Kool-Aid knockoff, which is grape. Great. She goes in, comes out. We didn't have grape. We have cherry. She looks like she's, I don't know, dead on the inside. Rico's like, little girl, cherry upsets my stomach. The look she gives him then that's the shirt we should have. That look. Like, I don't give an F about you or anything, and all of you disgust me. She goes in, and currently...
Rod is underwater at this point.
Yeah, he's supposed to ring a bell if anything goes wrong, but in the like Kool-Aid kerfluffle, the bell is broken, and Rod is now just drowning. And now probably dead.
Soul of the bottlenose dolphin. Didn't help. No. Okay. Go. I killed it with my bad dolphin.
What's everyone's? If you're in Hot Rod, what's the soul you're going for? What's the totem we got going on?
I don't know.
Badger. These things can go through anything.
Badger. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, sick.
Am I the only one who has a totem on hand?
Like a regular,
I had to think about it. You got one ready to go.
like a regular badger, or like a honey badger.
Ooh. Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess if you could choose anything in the world, the honey badger is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Sounds pornographic.
Yeah.
He was just a young honey
A
badger.
young little honey badger.
I don't
Just
know
a normal badger you put honey on.
I kind of want to.
piss it off.
What do you do on the weekends? I just go up to the mountains. I find badgers. I put honey all up on them. At first they love it, then they don't, and then they're so angry. I have films. You want to see it?
Yeah, it's a different movie. That's on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Speaking of spirit animals, I would probably take a turtle because it seems like you're just taking a lot of damage.
Okay.
I just curl up in a turtle and whatever stunt I would have to do.
I love it.
And jump off a bridge or whatever. Just turtle up Get in the shell.
He later
Come out.
he later expands his repertoire of totems and includes house cat, which I
You know, I was gonna pick that earlier, but I thought the turtle because of the shell. The house cat always lands on his feet until you tie its feet with some duct tape.
Oh God!
How are you gonna prevent it from landing on its feet?
That escalated quickly.
It did.
if you or your totem needs help, reach out. There is a service out there for you. I don't know what it is, but reach out to it.
I don't know. How do you prevent a house cat from landing on its feet?
Mike had a cat once that I was able to just toss around, and I can't remember if we said this on air, which sounds really mean. I would never hurt any animal, so just note it was kind of kitten-esque.
She loved it.
And I would kind of cuddle it like a little baby, and then I would like rock it back and forth, and then kind of flip it up into a couch. So like it was just small toss.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I could tell the cat wanted to do it, so I just kept doing it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna move, and the cat was like running across the room and jumping back into my arms for me to go back and do it like each time. I was like, I want to make clear like I would not do this to hurt an animal. So I wasn't then like tossing it 15 feet. I was like, then like 15 feet away, bringing it back to the couch and tossing it back like 1 foot. That cat loved it so much.
That was a good cat.
I love that cat.
I think cats just love to be tossed around sometimes.
Just a little toss.
Yeah.
Just a little toss.
I know for a fact that cat liked to party. Which brings us to the scene. Denise meets the crew. And Rod highlights, a little bit about everyone, how you would kind of introduce one another. He says, as you know, I'm Rod. I like to party. He goes to Dave. Dave's like, yeah, man, I'm Dave, and I like to party. No. Say something new. I said I like to party. I can't remember all the things he says.
I'm Dave. I do the stunts. No.
And then Rico highlights like I'm Rico. I build the ramps and I like to party. Kevin, I think he highlights all the parties he's been to.
Yeah.
Definitely Rod is not about that. I know for a fact you don't like to party.
Yeah. Nobody parties but Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denise does not know what to make of this.
No.
I don't know if Denise parties or not.
Yeah, I think she probably does.
That's
Yeah, maybe. A different type of party.
Next on the training docket is speed management and G-force,
Oh.
which is laying on a skateboard like a street luge and riding it down a hill.
Well, no.
I mean, clearly this is one of my favorite moments of the entire film. Rod has a safe word, which is whiskey. And for whatever reason is doing his WHs all in that weird what kind of way. And I really like Kevin's reaction where when Rod says like, say what way? He's like, I don't know, man, everything. just so taken aback.
Weird.
I think Family Guy fans would appreciate this scene.
Cool whip.
Ongoing 20-season running joke with that show.
Yeah, so Rod is on basically some skate luge. He's thrown down, immediately saying whiskey as he's thrown down. And we see immediately he runs right into a van that's parked in some guy's driveway. And the crew gets into their van and meets simultaneously as the owner of the van Rod went into comes out of his house. He's like, what the hell's going on here?
Big dude.
Yeah, big dude. This is a bold move from Rico, Danny McBride. I don't think anyone saw this coming.
No.
This guy was like, what the hell's going on? This is my van. Rico opens with a lunge punch to that dude's face, and that guy is now down for the count. Rico goes into a rich tapestry of madness with the things he starts saying, highlighting things like, I drink green tea all goddamn day. I go to church every Sunday. You're going to bring the demons out of me. Then takes a parking cone and beats the man senseless. Then takes his trash can, dumps it all over him. Then takes his hat, his baseball hat.
My hat.
Totally my hat.
My hat. And that is the end of that scene. That man is probably dead.
I don't know.
He ain't getting up from that.
There we go. With Danny McBride scenes, I kind of expect something like that. I don't know. His characters that he plays, you gotta be on edge.
I think in 2007, I was definitely not ready for this.
I wasn't, but these days,
That's fair.
Every character that he plays seems to have some kind of. He can go off.
Yeah, if he didn't do something crazy now, it would be bizarre.
Well,
They
I'm going
would.
to talk about a crazy movie Mike and I love that I think Lamar is somewhat disgusted about our love for. I don't know if Collin has seen this.
Okay.
Danny McBride, Will Ferrell, Land of the Lost.
I 100% love this movie. Also,
Mike's summer film.
starring Jorma Taccone, or however the fuck you say his name.
Yes.
He played-
Seriously?
Yeah, he's Chaka.
He's like a writer for SNL and has like no other credits except for these two movies.
No.
Yeah. He's in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
the pop star movie,
Yeah.
all of these, Lonely Island movies. There's several of them, and then he does some other stuff.
Land of the Lost is so fucking good. It's so stupid, but it's so good.
Yes, yes to all of that, and yes to him being in Parks and Rec, which
Yeah.
I like his role in that.
Oh, Land of the Lost. I literally just watched that movie last week.
Boom,
Yeah.
summer movie. We just put on a little back end. Hot, summery.
Yeah. Yeah.
What could go wrong?
That's true.
Yeah. What's that?
Then they go back to the
yeah.
to the restaurant. I think someone comes up to Rod and they're like, "Hey, Rod, what's that song about the grandma getting over by the reindeer?"
Oh yeah, this is where they're all. They look. I think they're at like a 7-Eleven. They're at some convenience store. Rico and Kevin are dancing, and Dave are dancing. Kevin has Heelys on and is skating around the park.
Kind of.
And they're listening to Two of Hearts by Suzy Q. I cannot find a better fitting song in my mind for the situation that's happening, especially with their dance. Rod becomes kind of serious and tells Denise a couple things, and he's kind of opening up like, oh, we were more mature, we've been talking. And all of a sudden this Corvette pulls up with Will Arnett. Jonathan.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. Oh, Jonathan.
Jonathan. Oh, Sully.
Sully. Showed.
Collin, how many punches to nuts do you owe people? And later on, we'll talk to Lamar about dong bags.
How much time you got?
It's a different kind of podcast. Welcome to Late Night Rabbit Troop Sucks. Pour yourself a martini, ladies and gentlemen. Lamar, do you want a Nighthawk tonight?
We've been waiting for you.
Yeah, so Jonathan pulls up, and this guy is a huge sack of shit.
It's Will Arnett. Come on,
It is
guys.
Will
Come on.
Yeah, so if you know Will Arnett, this is going to be the extreme mean version. I mean, there's moments of Will Arnett that are funny, quirky, sassy, definitely mean-spirited. This is the mean-spirited version, and he's, like, extreme. Denise basically says, like, I need to go get something, and she has Jonathan has a moment with Kevin and Rod, and, I mean, the look of disgust.
What are you supposed to be?
Yeah, he just walks up, what are you supposed to be? I'm a stuntman. And you could tell in his eyes, he's like, I wasn't expecting that, and I'm sickened by your response, but I'm going to listen to this other guy for a second, and he looks over, and this guy's like, I'm the manager, and he's, I don't know what he says, he's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's what he says.
I like the "How about you, precious?"
Yeah, what about you, precious? Yeah, then Denise comes back, and Will Arnett gets in the car, and she says, oh, what were you going to ask me? Because clearly he wanted to ask her out, and he said, I was just going to say, if a grilled cheese and a taco got into a fight, who would win? And you could even tell her, she's like, is that really what you were going to ask me? Yeah. But she goes into it full on serious mode. Well, what was her response?
Grilled cheese,
if it's a
but
fair fight.
only in a fair fight.
Yeah.
If it's prison rules,
rules,
we'll take the
taco.
taco.
Yeah, and then his response is, well, pretty racist.
They doubled down on that scene. I like it. It could have fizzled out, but I like it.
Then we're back at home, and Rod is pouting. He's just basically doing sit-ups and push-ups and stuff on the floor. And Kevin is basically playing with toys. And Rod immediately is having a pity party. You know what kind of car is stupid? Corvettes. And Kevin says, oh, the kind that Jonathan drives? Oh, I didn't really think about it. Maybe that's why I thought about it. And that's the kind of attitude Rod has.
Well, Rod also used a bit of his disappointment to muster up the courage to ask out Kathy from the food stand
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
for a date.
Yeah, that's right. That's the next day. Yeah, they're back at that DQ.
They're going on a double date.
Yeah, Kathy gets asked out, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? I'm going to spoil it. Kathy does not show up or stood Rod up, but it's very awkward. So, like, I really paid attention to the scene. So, Rod asks out Kathy, who works at, I don't know, DQ, for the sake of this. And she's like, "Are you asking me out?" And she looks disgusted. He's like, "Oh, Kathy. Oh, boy." Like, "Oh, you're so silly." And that scene ends. But then he comes over to the table and he's like, "I asked out Kathy and we're going out." But did she agree to this?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking that she never did, and
I
he
mean-
was faking the whole time.
But why would you agree to a double date? He suggested the double date.
He did.
Why would you do that if you know
He-
she wasn't going to be there?
Just wanted to be there to interrupt Jonathan somehow.
Interesting.
Somehow, some way, he just wanted to be with Denise in this
I mean-
situation. Is what I'm thinking.
I know
That's
this,
one way.
Well, I know
I'm
this
thinking.
because this is like a super weird lie. I
is.
understand that you could tell people like, "I asked someone out. We're going on a date." That all makes sense to me in like a lie world. But Kathy is like no shit 5 feet away. Like you would probably be like saying this away from this situation. I mean, not where this woman works. She's like right there.
He is acting super weird in this scene, which makes me think that he is just nervous wreck, and he is just improvising every word that's coming because he's so nervous.
So many
that she's
things
there.
could have gone wrong. Okay, so if she
And they
did not
do.
agree to this, it seems like Denise has the personality where she would be like, "Hey, my name's Denise. Like, I'll see you at her.
Yeah.
Like, see you later tonight. Like, it's gonna be so much fun." Like, she's got like this really peppy, like nice attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely feel she would introduce herself before she left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably
mean-
think so too.
The scene indicates to me that Rod was shot down and then went into some kind of psychosis.
I'd believe that. Either.
I believe that too, but and it escalated even beyond that to which leads us to a dinner scene later. But goddamn,
On his moped to the dinner scene, though, he was singing about how you put on a shirt when you go on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So-
seems like he thought he was going
I
on
didn't
a
think
date.
about
Yeah,
that.
I-
Incorporating that into what happened.
I kind of think like, maybe she's kind of maybe she just gets hit on all the time, so she's gives out the
Yeah.
same number,
She's like, "Yeah,
or she's like, "Yeah, meet me here," or whatever. But they would have had to set up the date. So if she gave him a fake number, they would have had to set up the date before,
Yeah.
because he wouldn't have been able to reach her.
And it'll
Yeah, I
be
don't-
weird
I don't know.
tomorrow when they go back to that place because they're there every fucking day.
Right. So he would have to go back to her and be like, "I will see you at blank bar at
they-
10 o'clock tonight or tomorrow night." Wait, was it the same night?
I think it was.
Okay, so I'll see you at 10 o'clock tonight. Like, you would have to say that,
would
like,
have-
at
yeah.
our location.
Right.
In the heat of the moment, you will say any stupid shit
Yeah.
and put
Whoa,
yourself
whoa,
in
whoa.
any
And then they would have
situation.
sprung the double date on like when she arrived. Like,
He set himself
God.
up for the ultimate disaster.
Lamar, were you telling me it was the heat of
It
the
was the
moment?
heat of the moment.
Was it telling me what to do? I knew it was telling me what to do.
Ah, shit. God damn it.
Yep.
well, I think we've beat this.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, well, they go on this double date. Sort of. I mean, as noted, Rod gets there and they're at some kind of bar. It's
Yeah.
it's a weird bar. It really looks like the inside of a Denny's.
It's like an Applebee's or something.
Yeah, I was thinking Applebee's or
Yeah.
Chili's or
Double
something.
date.
Like a Bennigan's, maybe.
A little more upscale than that, maybe.
Sure.
One thing is that
Sully's
he's
there.
being stood up.
Yeah, we'll get to Sully.
Well, Jonathan gets them a round of flaming Dr. Peppers.
Yeah. What sounds gross?
It looked like it was just like a Boilermaker with some kind of weird purple shot.
Gross.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that was. Was that what it was?
was
I don't-
gross.
It was like a shot in a beer.
It was a shot
Yeah.
of grossness.
Yeah.
That
It
you put the
was.
shot in the beer.
Yeah, like a car bomb kind
Yeah.
of thing. But
He did his before
I'd
the
do
other ones were served. It's like, wow.
oh yeah, the waitress handed it to him. And he took it down.
I mean, he ordered 3 of them. They were all for him.
That, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not unreasonable.
Doing a car bomb shot at Applebee's at noon. Keep that.
Nothing wrong with that. Some people just like to party more.
Yeah, it's true. Like
But
Jonathan.
after he downs his flaming Dr. Pepper, he sees Sullivan from across the bar.
Yeah, Sully!
Sully, is that you?
Hey.
What does he owe him?
a shot to the nuts. Sullivan, you chode.
I want backstory on that.
Yeah, I do want to meet all those people. You do get to see Sully, just some guy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the cameo I want in a film like this. That would be great.
You would have wanted to be Sullivan.
Yeah, just like a guy like nodding, like a guy who's walked across the screen. Yeah, and
But he goes off to say hi, and this does give Rod and Denise a little one-on-one time.
And he gives the backstory on his dad on how he basically was
His
jumping
face
some
exploded.
like milk trucks and his face exploded and he died instantly
He's super dead.
the next day. Yeah, no one knows really what to take of that. And then the scene just kind of fizzles out. There's really not much.
No real conclusion.
We get to phase 2, as Mike noted, fiscal jackhammer.
Yeah, this is where he's doing kind of low-level stunts for money.
And yeah, so we see a lot of those stunts, and this leads us to he's also trying to prepare his mind. Denise is teaching him Taichi by some kind of lake. He highlights that he thought there was a move that, if conducted well or correctly, that would make someone instantaneously poop their pants. And she does it on him. He gets aggressive by asking, and then he goes home. He says it didn't work. It clearly worked. And he goes home. And I like that she gets weird serious. She goes, "You asked for it."
It's like, I did, and you disappointed me by not showing me.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work.
So when he gets home, he is not wearing pants, then does wear pants, which is a blooper that was done on purpose. That's a part of the trivia that I read.
Nice.
Kevin is working on some films. Monk's watching some dogs screw each other, which then he says is for his mom.
Yeah, mom's into that stuff.
What's about those projects?
But Kevin highlights that he works on these clips that he's put together with Rod. Rod loves this. This is super awesome.
I love them too.
Yeah, someone we didn't really talk about all too much is this guy Richardson. He was dancing in this pool earlier. That's all I could really say. This erotic dance.
Yeah. He wants to be part of the crew. But
Yeah.
he doesn't have any skill set other than his erotic dance.
He just wants to dance, and he is tasked with putting up flyers. They come up with a plan that they're going to promote all of these clips. People are going to pay to see it. Kevin's going to put it into some kind of theatrical movie feature. People are going to pay at this local cinema, and flyers are going out. They put it to Richardson. One of my favorite moments of this film. So imagine someone is just tasked with giving out or putting up flyers. This guy, you see, like put up 1, put up 2. Then he's just throwing stacks in the air. My favorite part is he throws a stack at some people. That's my favorite.
My favorite one is the woman loading groceries into her minivan, and he just smacks her in the face with them, and then does his crotch dance in front of her.
Yeah. That's Richardson, and this is why you need to watch this movie. Our descriptions do not do Richardson
they
justice.
don't.
No.
But it's the night of the film. This is a really quick hatched plan that just comes to be. So it's the night of the film. People have made money. They've raised just shy, maybe a couple $100. No, yeah, I think it's a couple $100.
They were at $4,900.
Yeah, so less than $100. They've got their near $5,000. Again, all of that was to build this ramp, to gain more money, to get a bigger crowd, etc. They're really going for $50,000. But they show this movie, and Rod is really excited. His stepdad, Frank, is there. His mom is there. His crew is there. Tons of people are there. I would say there's a couple hundred people, right?
Where are these crowds coming from?
Whatever town this
town
is,
is so
there's
supportive.
nothing to do in this town.
Right. It was that answered Lamar's question. Where are these crowds coming from? The town.
But also, straight up, I would go see this movie.
Oh, absolutely. You have a dancing guy, just throw around 10,000 flyers. You pick up one, you're there.
I'm in,
Whatever he's
100%.
advertising.
There was 200 people there. It was $5 to 200 people for 1,000.
That's right. They did
That's
the
right.
math.
He did the math.
Nice. And then Collin redid the math. Well, the crowd starts laughing. Rod immediately flips out. He's really hurt by this. He takes the entire projector, throws it out a window, and it goes into a car. He gives the cops $5,000. I guess that's enough money. I would assume that projector is way more money than that.
Probably.
That projector was as big as a human body.
Yeah. It looked pretty old, though. Maybe $5,000 was what an old one cost on eBay.
Oh, no, I mean, think about 2007. Do you really think in 2007? I think that would be a lot.
It looked like an expensive projector.
I don't know. I don't know projector prices.
He probably has insurance.
Well,
That's probably his
those
deductible.
little ones,
Maybe.
in 2007, those little ones are still $1,500.
That's true.
I'm saying that thing was huge.
I want to take away from the point of the scene, which was sad because it wasn't the amount of money. I mean, he walked up sadly and he dumped the whole. The point was he had a milk jug, not a milk jug, a water jug that he was keeping the money in.
And a bucket.
And a bucket. And he just sets him down. He just cries and walks off, and that's it.
That is it.
I don't even know how much money they raised. It was just a thought that all of it just went to paying off that shitty ass projector.
How much time do you think had gone by between when he started Operation Physical Jackhammer and the movie?
I'd say at least a week or two.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, that was about. Yeah, I totally agree.
There were a few stunts. There was the getting run into by the van,
blown up at the mayor's.
Yeah. The various kids' parties that he went to.
Yeah.
You were a terrible stuntman.
What?
Terrible stuff.
I'm sorry, I could do that. That was just really mean. That was nice for me.
But the night hasn't reached its conclusion for Rod yet. He's about to get some more bad news. He goes home. He's very upset. And his mother is there to comfort him by telling him the real story of his father. He wasn't a stuntman that worked for Evel Knievel.
He certainly was not.
He was a guy that worked at a tire store.
He was?
Evel Knievel was there doing a promotion. He got his picture taken with him.
But how did he die?
How did he die? He
was it heroically?
he choked on some pie.
Heroically choked on some
He
pie.
wanted to win that contest so bad.
This is one of my favorite moments. His reaction. So the mom's like, he choked on some pie, and Andy Samberg goes, "What? Come on, seriously?" And she's so matter of fact by it, and she goes, "Well, he really just wanted to win that competition. He's really determined."
Yeah.
So he freaks out, runs out of the room. Frank is like, "You did a good job. You did right, baby."
Oh, yeah. He's there the whole time.
Yeah, he's just on the
on
couch.
listening.
Camera panned over.
So we don't really know this, but you gather this really quickly. This just shatters Rod's entire...
He's given up.
Yeah, perception of life, his purpose of living. There's no point. He is at a grocery store, and he's got... So I don't know.
Wow.
I'm going to put this in a, like... Who knows where our listeners are from, and I mean that in a good way. But I would really want to put this in a reality-based viewpoint. When you go to the grocery store, I do feel there's the mini cart you could get, or a version of a mini cart, and then you get the big old, like, classic grocery store, big old shopping cart.
Yeah.
Rod has got that big old grocery store shopping cart, like Target size shopping cart. Overflowing with bottles of liquor.
The big bottles.
Yeah.
He's not messing around.
There are probably 60, if not more, very large bottles of liquor in there. One of my questions is, where does he get the money to even buy any of it?
So he's trying to raise $50,000. I'm thinking there's $50,000 worth of alcohol in this cart.
Yeah.
If
might
you
not know
eyeball
how money
it,
works.
I don't think he does.
viewers, look at this card, pause and look. Tell me there's not $50,000 worth of alcohol in this cart.
Maybe it's just really cheap alcohol.
Well, he runs into the crew and they ask what he's doing, and he says he's becoming an adult now. There's no like literal conversation about how much alcohol.
What are you doing? I'm grocery shopping.
Yeah, that's it. Like no one talks about like what he's buying, how much he's buying. There's clearly just an insane amount of alcohol there. And he goes outside. He highlights to each and every one of them. He's done with this. You'll just have to see the scene to believe it. There's a lot of MC Hammer references to Denise. Then Rod just goes into the street and gets hit by Rico's van. And that's it. Scene cut. He wakes up in a suit that he still wore while he was hit by the car. So it's like he went home and like had a concussion and just woke up. Like that's what the scene looks like. His hair is like totally matted over to the side. He looks super weird. The phone rings and it's Dave.
Dave needs a hand. He wants Rod to come pick him up to take him to the hospital. No big deal, just precautionary.
We all gotten that call from your friend at midnight.
Yeah.
Like, just casually come on over. I just need a casual call to
Just cruise over this way.
Yeah,
real quick.
Go to the hospital. It's all good.
So he goes in the minivan, his mom's minivan. Dave has a giant piece of metal sticking out of his, well, not eye exactly, but
right
next to his eye.
like
His
half
temple.
an inch above his eye.
Temple.
the narration of what happened is pretty good for me. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But he was, he did some acid, was working on the angle grinder, as one does, got a little metal to the face. Drops him off at the ER. He also gets a little pep talk. Rod gets a pep talk from Dave.
But he also gets his observational details through his acid trip. He's like, oh my God. He's like, Rod, you look like a giant eagle and your face is made out of fire. And Rod's like, all right, man. And he's like, oh my God, you just drove over that tiny little bus. Do you see that? Just drove over.
Yeah, I didn't see a bus.
But then, yes, there is a pep talk.
Yeah. Take it easy, mountain face.
Yeah, he gets a little pep talk. He becomes real. He's like, even though he's not Frank's not your real father, he's still a guy you love and you want, him to respect you. I would do anything for that. Like a moment of lucidity. That quickly fades. Then Dave doesn't know how to get in the hospital. He asks if a trash can's the hospital. It is not. He then goes in and Rod drives away. But the last scene you see of Dave is he is basically fighting a nurse with his briefcase, but then you see him just lay on the floor. It's been a long day for Dave.
It has.
He's in the hospital. He'll be okay.
I love that he packed preemptively for it.
That's good.
Brilliant.
Rod goes home again, and he talks to Kevin. They go on a weird cool beans rant. I don't even know how to explain it, but you should totally watch it.
If you're high, the scene is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
We were too sober for this scene. It was a what the fuck is going on
So-
at this moment scene.
On the soundtrack, this is a full-length song that turns into a rap.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Damn.
Should have left it in the movie.
I know.
Because it's not in the movie, and it was what the fuck is going on.
I heard Bill Hader has a rap album. Is that true?
What?
Oh my God, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I thought this might be part of it. I didn't know that.
Through this mysterious, as we're making it, a cool beans segment, Kevin and Rod make up. Kevin highlights, all these videos I uploaded, and they're actually getting a lot of traction. And I was contacted by an AM radio station who wants to sponsor a big jump. And basically the deal is this. They're going to sponsor and pay for this huge ramp and give us some money. And we're going to do this jump. And we're going to try to raise money. And all the proceeds will go to Frank. The next day they agree clearly to all this. Rod clearly is in. They meet Chris Parnell, who is the host of this radio station. He is a lunatic.
He has a very provocative tattoo also.
I love Chris Parnell. I love Chris Parnell's voice. Such a notable voice actor. Everyone's going to know him as the dad in Rick and Morty. He highlights that, hey, AM is going to come back. We just lost a little traction, but all the kids want to hear AM. It was big back in the day. We're going to do it. I used the last $15,000 our station had, and now it's up to you to make it all back. This is the big one. This is going to break us back. And Kevin's highlighting like, yeah, AM, that's cool. He's like, it is cool, Kevin. Let me show you. And as Mike noted, he basically lifts up his shirt, highlights through a tattoo, Calvin and Hobbes Calvin type character peeing on a television and an FM radio. And then safely on a Magic Genie carpet, an AM radio is floating above it.
He's able to pee on both color TV and FM radio simultaneously because he had sex the previous night and there was residue in his penis that allowed the stream to split.
Makes sense.
So,
Science holds up.
it was a very well thought out art piece, really.
And explained in detail how it became about.
Yes.
Fuck. Wow.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I don't know what to say to that.
No one does.
Rod tries to call Denise, and
Yeah.
Jonathan answers the phone, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to deliver this message, and fake writes it down. Rod even calls him out on it.
Are you actually writing it down or are you just waving your hand around?
Yeah.
What?
Next, Rod tells Frank, I'm going to save you. This is going to be great. And in a Frank-like way, he's like, whatever, you're going to fail. You're a piece of shit. Good luck. You'll never be a man. But before the jump, he gets a new costume.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a uplifting montage where the crew comes together, the neighborhood's rallying together. It's The Voice, I think, is the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who sings it.
This will be our profile picture, little icon for this episode.
Yes,
It's a pretty good banger. Everyone's like just really positive. At some point, this turns into like a riot when people are stealing.
Massive loot fest.
Yeah, people are looting stores.
I like how they're walking down. They can actually see the crowd coming up behind them as they're singing the voice.
Yeah.
And they're looking concerned, like this crowd's growing a
like,
little big.
Who are these people?
There's a real quick interaction when this all ends after the looting that I really love.
Rico with the television.
Yeah, Rico clearly has a television. He's like, this got out of control. People are just nuts. But Kevin's like, no, I just didn't like that. And Rod looks over at Kevin. He's like, yeah, no. Like
Nobody liked that.
like, what are you talking about? Yeah, Kevin's about to like go comatose out of hysterics. But they all get together. Sorry, this is where they get the costume. Everyone gives Rod some gifts. They get a new costume.
That's number one.
Yeah, that's number one. They built him a brand new actual stunt bike.
That's number one.
That's number one. Rico's like, I know you love fireworks. I mounted the whole ramp with fireworks, which is also number one. But I also got you this rock that I tied a little bow on. So
It represents all the hard work that I've done.
but after the fireworks, you could just like toss that.
Toss in a river or
Also
something.
number one.
Rod goes out. They're starting the show. The radio show is starting. Chris Parnell is highlighting that this is going to be a great show. You see this epic crowd grow and grow and grow. Rod is, going outside, swirling around in a bunch of circles on the bike. Some weird, it's creepy band is playing. It turns out to be Queens of the Stone Age. They're all in costume. And then Rod is going up for the big jump. Luckily, we get a cutscene. Denise is driving around with Jonathan, and she turns on the radio and hears, oh my God, Rod's going to do the big jump. Jonathan pulls over. He's going to a convenience store. He's like, babe, these are a bunch of nerds. Stop hanging out with them. She's like, these nerds are my friends. And he says the grossest line anyone could say. Before he's about going into the convenience store, he's like, do you want me to pick up some dong bags so we can knock, in case we knock boots later? What? A sicko. Yeah, she's sickened by
He's
it all.
just practicing safe sex, Paul.
That's true.
This is a responsible person.
Babe, no.
Sure.
He bought the vitamin waters
Babe,
for
no.
hydration.
He's done nothing wrong so far.
Well, she's sickened and gets out of the car. And he immediately is yelling after her, babe, no. Babe, no.
Babe.
She gets into a random car. And
Yeah, that was great for what the
just drives
fuck.
off. And he's still screaming, babe, no. And they just cut him off. We never see Jonathan again.
It's a great little no, shoot off. It's totally comedic purposes, but
I love it.
She,
Love it.
She is able to make it before Rod makes the jump. She runs over. They kiss, and it's a super gross kiss.
Initiated by her, by the way.
She like opens her whole mouth and is like almost sucking on his fake mustache. He kind of jerks back and is like, sorry, your mouth was kind of open and gross. I love they have a quick scene. They cut to Dave and the crew in the crowd. He's like, why is Rod making out with his sister? Kevin's like, what are you talking about? That's not his sister. He's like, that destroys like my whole perception of my reality. What the hell's going on? So they then have another kiss, a real kiss before, and now it's time for the jump. And this is where, you see the ultimate form of Rod. He summons all the totems. He summons the fox, the bottlenose dolphin. He summons, what do we got here?
House cat?
Yeah, this is where we get the house cat. The eagle was there. Octopus.
There's octopi in there.
Yeah,
It's octopi for a jump. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's time. He's going to make the big jump. They announce it. He goes down the ramp. The fireworks are going. You could tell he's not really in control of the bike. But he goes off, and he goes sky rocketing in the air, like insanely tall or high up in the air. He turns over kind of mid-jump. You see he's looking over at the crowd. He's looking over at the crew. He's kind of winking at Denise. He gives the thumbs up. Yeah, to Kevin. Kevin's giving him the thumbs up back. Then we slowly pan over to Dave, again, Bill Hader. Bill Hader's not giving him the thumbs up. He's giving him like the shake of a hand at the neck. Like, dude, cut it short. And then you see Rod is no longer holding his bike.
Feet away.
Yeah, he's like 7 feet higher than the bike itself, and it's all slow motion. I like that it cuts to real time, and the bike goes flying across, hits the ramp, skids across the ramp, explodes into like a small station. Rod hits the ramp and goes tumbling and rolling off too.
Ouch.
And he seems super unconscious.
Yeah. Well, he is unconscious, and he's having a vision of the grilled cheese taco fight.
Yeah, you finally actually find out who wins.
The taco.
Yeah.
Because he fucking stabs the grilled cheese.
A lot of blood.
Prison rules.
Prison rules.
A lot of blood
It's a
involved.
nice fight.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the fight, when the grilled cheese like turns around and bodies the taco, I couldn't stop giggling.
Think about what you just said. Let that vision carry you into the night.
I hope I can have this dream later.
You will.
Then you hear the crowd is, as any kind of sport you would hear, like they're chanting his name. Chris Parnell highlights on the radio, they're cheering Kimble back to life. He does try to get up. He does highlight that, he's going to be okay. And we didn't note, you see a ticker of the money, and it stopped before the jump. It was like $35,000. Again, they're trying to get to 50. Once he gets up and declares, I'm okay, all the rest of the money comes in. And as Chris Parnell notes, he got conveniently priced a $50,000 he needed for the heart transplant. So it's great.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah. They say Rod has got a bunch of broken bones. You don't really ever see that. Some kind of time has elapsed.
It was 6 months.
6 months later.
Is that it? Just
Yeah,
6 months?
That's what it said.
So now Rod is growing a small mustache. There's about 25 hairs across the top of his upper lip. He's combing that. He's putting on his training gear. He goes downstairs and he sees Kevin. Kevin's like, you don't have to do this. He's like, no, I got to prove I'm a man. And it turns out, this has been enough time for Frank to get a heart. It's been transplanted. Everything's great. And now they're already highlighting 6 months. Give me a break. That it's stronger than before. That he's going to be stronger because this is a young man's heart. And then Rod goes downstairs. He's like, Frank, I'm going to fight you. He immediately gets sticked right to the face. You see the old Rod complaining, like, I wasn't ready. He's like, you're never going to be ready, says Frank. Frank throws some throwing stars right into Rod's arm. That is an amazing move for me. Rod is just as surprised as I am that a throwing star is thrown and now sticking into his left shoulder. It is amazing. But then Rod just beats the holy shit out of Frank. Throws him through a wall, burns him on a grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, neighbor's grill. He's just throwing him through the neighbor's backyards.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
whatnot.
Meanwhile, all of his friends and family are at a cookout, including Chris Parnell.
Yeah.
And his
Part of the
mother,
family now.
his Sissy Spacek, is like, just let him finish. They're fine. Yeah, they're in someone else's yard right now, and he finally gets Frank to say what he's really, really wanted to hear.
You're a man
You're a
now.
man.
You're a man now, Chubbs McSkirts.
He gives him a
Did it.
nickname.
He won.
And he says, yeah, and then he gives him the
Taichi
poop pants.
And then Frank goes, you gotta be kidding me. And then you see Rod, fist in the air like it's the end of the Breakfast Club, and freeze frame. Boom. You do get an after credit scene. I totally forgot about this. And it's basically just Rod and his bike, and he's bowing down to it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you get. That's the end of Hot Rod. Hot Rod. Oh, I do want to say one thing we skipped over. We can't just cover every aspect of the movie. But when we finally see everything come together and Rod, gets up and then gets $50,000, I do think we sometimes forget things. We cannot forget the cameo of
Ebenezer
Scrooge. It's a cooked goose.
In the school bus. Yeah, he's got the turkey already cooked.
Yeah, Ebenezer Scrooge has been in a school bus this whole time with a cooked goose for everyone. He's ready to go.
Man.
Poppin' fresh, friend.
It was a Christmas miracle after all.
Yeah,
This is a Christmas
yeah.
movie.
It just
It's officially
boom. We just made this a Christmas movie.
bam.
Well, before we get to our final views on Hot Rod from 2007, as always, do you have a movie that you would like us to review? Do you want us to highlight something about movies? Do you know something about movies? Do we need to know something about movies? Reach out to us, rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com, or go to our website proper, rabbittroopsucks.com. As Mike noted a couple episodes ago, or maybe the last episode, all of our episodes are able to stream there. As we noted a few episodes ago, we are now on YouTube and anywhere that streams things. I just go to the podcast app on my iPhone. But YouTube,
pretty big
Amazon.
influx of YouTube listeners now.
I like it.
Yeah.
So welcome to the tubes. The tubes.
Tubes are the way.
We're
about
also
those
on
tubes.
Instagram and Facebook. Hit us up on social media. We love hearing that you like some of these films, or you know some about these films, or just what these films mean to you. A lot of these films I know sometimes are dated, and people are like, I loved watching this film growing up. I totally get it. Feel free to keep writing us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for rating us.
Yeah, and to all our new listeners, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. We got a couple new countries represented.
What kind of countries?
We got Singapore.
Whoa.
Angola.
Whoa.
Hey,
Pretty big in Angola now.
I like their soccer team.
There you go.
All right.
That's probably who's listening.
Shout out.
South Africa.
Hey, all right.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, we're pretty worldwide.
So
Get out there.
All because of that fucking YouTube.
YouTube has reach, man. I love
guess.
it.
what do you all think about Hot Rod 2007?
I'll go first since I was
There you
the
go.
one who hasn't seen this before.
Yeah.
I know that you guys all really like this movie. I totally understand why it has 39% or whatever on Rotten Tomatoes. I liked it better than that, but I think my only problem with this was like the handful of like random out of nowhere scenes, like the Cool Beans thing, the Ebenezer Scrooge thing. If those were not in this, this would jump that tier. But the things are those things were so jarring that it really like took it down a tier. It like
Took it down.
Yeah.
Oh, Collin.
I know.
Colin,
So
how about you go home tonight and you whisper to your significant other, it's Ebenezer Scrooge. A cooked goose forever. 2 a.m. Let us know how it goes.
all right,
Group text us.
sure, dude.
Yeah. Let us know how it goes.
It will not go over well, but I will do it.
Okay.
That's my commitments to you, listeners.
We appreciate
What if you really had a cooked goose? Would it go down well then?
Dude, you know what? I could probably find a goose. Maybe not a goose. Maybe a chicken.
Sure.
I'll cook a chicken. I'll call it a goose.
It's a rotisserie chicken.
It's 2 a.m. She's not gonna know.
So that you're saying that was sweeten the deal.
No, but but I'll do it for you.
Nice. 2 a.m. Everyone's getting a text tonight.
Yeah.
I'll be up.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Lamar, what are you thinking?
Collin, it's some of those writing things that you didn't like that I actually did like in the film. I know there's comedy troupes that have their own kind of writing style, like the Van Wilder guys and Upright Citizens Brigade people, stuff like that. I think all that stuff, like those jump cuts, the Cool Bean stuff, I think it works for this group.
The piece
The
of trivia,
SNL group that
Wait,
writes.
the piece of trivia I have on Cool Beans is they did not want that. The director did not want it in, and then they both, Kevin and Rod, or the real actors, they re-edited it to what we saw, and then the director was like, okay.
And I think that was even a little bit too long. I think if they shorten it up a bit, it doesn't make sense at all. It's just kind of I don't even want to say a signature, but it just kind of fits with it. I don't know why.
If they had done more of that to where it was like, okay, this is just that kind of silly movie, it would have been better. But only doing those two things, which are kind of different gags, so there was only one type, like that type of gag.
It
in the movie
definitely
is
doesn't
jarring.
fit. It's
Yeah.
kind of like National Lampoon. They have kind of a similar kind of everything just flows together. But this SNL group, things just kind of, this doesn't make sense and this doesn't make sense. I think there's 2 or 3 of those scenes that are in this movie, but I think it all works well together for the movie in general. It all fits together. It's all part of the Hot Rod experience for me. I love this movie. It has great pacing. The cast is incredible. Speaking of this writing troupe, I have not seen any of their other movies. This is my first experience with, I want to say, Andy Samberg. I think I've seen him in other movies, not in a starring role. But Paul, you introduced me to this movie, I believe, around this time, 2007, 2008, or 2009.
Mike, did we watch this movie for the first time, like together?
Yeah.
I think we just like randomly watched it.
Yeah, we found it, I think.
And then you introduced it to me. I loved it. And I love Andy Samberg, and I love Bill Hader and everything he does. I love Danny McBride and everything he does. So it's just like culmination of those people coming together and putting on a great movie. I just love it. I recommend it to anyone because it's not long at all.
Yeah,
this hour 30 minutes feels like 70 minutes. It goes smoothly. It's not. What more can I say about it?
Yeah.
Mike, what do you
Toss
think
over to
about
Mike.
Hot?
I mean, this movie is flawless for me. I absolutely love it. This is one of those movies that I've seen it so many times. I always get laughs out of it. Like it never gets old. Maybe it's just that dumb kind of comedy that I love, but it's start to finish, this movie just works for me. I love everyone in it. All the performances are just perfect. I love this movie so much.
Yeah, I just echo Mike's sentiment on this. I mean, I do understand what Collin's saying, that like sometimes like the pacing of a joke is like off or weird, or it's not like mirrored in other places, so then it seems like strange when you see it. But all those like weird nuances in this film are all the reasons I love it. Like I never expect anything, and then like sometimes I forget some of the things that happen since we haven't seen this movie in a while. And then, as Mike noted, I always am laughing. Like every viewing of this film, I've always laughed out loud. Like, you got to be kidding me with certain situations. Some of the dialogue is insane. Some of the actions are insane. Some of the songs are insane. If we didn't talk about it, some of the trivia we saw, there's 8 Europe songs. Like, holy Christ.
This soundtrack fucks hard.
So many Europe songs, and The Final Countdown is not one of them. Cutting Crew, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, and a bunch of Europe songs. Susie Q, oh my God. So yeah, this movie is just insane. Definitely, if you like Andy Samberg, if you like the SNL skits, it's going to be an easy transition to get into this film. That's what I was noting to Collin as well. But yeah, I mean, Collin, would you recommend people watch this film?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys heard me. I was definitely giggling a lot. So overall, it was still for me a pretty funny movie. It was just, yeah, I've got other movies that I think I would put on before this. Definitely worth the watch.
You know what's crazy, Collin? Next episode, we have a Father's Day themed episode. We're going to come at you with Cloak and Dagger from 1984. And, we had this on the list, and this will come weeks later when people hear it. But unfortunately, Dabney Coleman just passed away. And we were highlighting that we're going to do this movie beforehand. So you will hear us talk about Dabney Coleman. Rest in peace. But it will be a Father's Day focus. Cloak and Dagger 1984. Check it out. Yeah. Anything anyone wants to add about Hot Rod? Hot Rod and go, Hot Rod.
I don't think we addressed the director of this movie. I'm gonna screw this up. Akiva Schaffer. Mm-hmm. He writes with Tim Robbins. I think you should leave on Netflix. Funny as shit. You should. If you're into that humor, then this movie's right up your alley. I think it's.
Oh, I know who this person is.
Yeah. Oh, you do you?
I recognize his face.
Oh, there you go. Not really. It's kind of similar humor, but you'll appreciate them both, and I highly recommend both Hot Rod and I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robbins.
I'm going to leave off on one other note. Go Colorado. So the writer of Hot Rod, Pam Brady, is also credited as a creative and consulting producer of South Park.
Hey, all right. Yeah, how about that?
We should leave off on that note, Colorado, and just remember, 2 hearts that beat as one. And as always, Rabbit Troop sucks.
Stay sweet.
Stay sucks.